Hello, this is RJB here, and this week we've been following a best of 7 set between Hamburgersasu and Bombi. And today we have match number 6 prepared for us. So let's see who's going to win. Is it going to be Bombi? Is he going to end the series, or is it going to be Hamburgersasu? And will he claw himself back into a 50-50 match and bring us to game number 7? There's only one way to find out, and that's of course by starting the match and seeing where they are. Hamburger is on the 6 o'clock spawn location, and we've got Bombi here on the Protoss once again on the 3 o'clock starting position. Hamburgersasu, of course, on the Terran. One of my favorite Terran players on fastest, though it is mostly his Zerg that I absolutely love. His Zerg is just a beauty to behold. It's intricate, it's delicate, but it's explosive and robust. Sounds like a contradiction, but it truly is true. It truly is true. Intricate, but robust. Explosive, and well thought out. Bombi here starts off with the 2 Nexus into a gateway build order, although no, it is not a Nexus. It is in fact, he's going for Dragoons. He is going for Dragoons. Maybe he's going for something a little bit more tricky like Dark Templars, but this is different from what we've been seeing. And I've done this build order myself, although my build order I copied from 458 is with 3 gateways, but he is doing 2 gateways into a very early Zealot, into very early Gas, no Nexus, and then of course going to go for Dragoons or Dark Templars. It's one of those 2, nothing else. Those are the only 2 options he has. There's his chance for a reverse, but I don't think the reverse is going to really do all that much. I think Dragoons or Dark Templars are the best option he has right now. The probe there goes down, the Zealot there tries to get some hits down on those Marines, but Hamburgersasu doesn't allow that to happen. Finds Bombi's base. If he finds and scouts any of this here in Bombi's base, Bombi is going to be toast. Because knowing this is coming makes it very easy to defend, and it's only on 2 gateways, usually it's 3. So the amount of Dragoons coming in will be smaller and lower than usual, but he does prevent any damage to his probes because he has those Zealots. So this is kind of a safer version of the 3 gateway build order that we sometimes see 458 do. 458 completely does not make Zealots, which means that his units come out pretty damn late. And it means that sometimes the Terran can go for some abuse on those probes very early, and sometimes that just by itself is enough to end the game. So 458's build order is more or less a gamble, whereas Bombi's build order seems more secure and safer, but I do think it looks a bit weaker because the element of surprise and the amount of punching power he gets from those Dragoons is diminished. The first 2 Dragoons are out, but it's only 2. Range is still on the way. He's adding on more gateways even. He's going for 4 gateways in total. This is really something I've not seen done before. Firebats there to keep those Zealots away. Marines there with the medics strong against the Dragoons. It looks like Hamburgersasu has a really great combination here. Goes in for the attack. Zealots are low. Ooh, the Zealots are taking so much damage there from those Marines. The Marines are pretty much untouched completely. So on the chase, one Firebat there goes down. Now the Marines are chasing the Dragoon. And yeah, this is exactly as I expected. And this is on a 2 barrack build order from Hamburgersasu, then added on 2 more. Well, 3 more barracks. Very late range, early stim. The Firebats themselves didn't really do all that much, and now it looks like Bombi's on the push back, but Hamburgersasu has more Marines there in the base, and he's going to try to go for the flank attack here on those Dragoons to put off their escape path. Manages to do so quite successfully. Will he get the kill? Gets the kill on the Dragoon. Now chasing Beaver, goes into the middle of the map. Bombi is trying to escape here because this is risky, and he does pull off the micro quite well. Hamburgersasu finally almost runs out of medic energy, so he has to return to his other 2 medics before he can resume the fight. Running out of medic energy is one of the most important things to look for as a Protoss, because once the medic energy runs out, you can demolish the Marines. With the medic energy, the Marines are going to stay healthy and strong and pretty much be able to fight non-stop. This fight here is great. Bombi keeps stepping backwards, but Hamburgersasu is just so aggressive. He is not relenting, not giving up the pressure, just keeps going, and is making life very difficult for Bombi here. And we are seeing that Bombi really did pick a very difficult to execute build order, although another wave of Dragoons is spawning right as we speak, so the Marines might be in over their head, but more Marines of course are still spawning back at home. But first, The first factory now coming in. Also an engineering bay, they're on the way. Still challenging the fight here on the middle. Managed to get a great spread here on those Dragoons to get as much damage as he can on those Marines, but the Marines are still pushing those Dragoons back deep into the base. But I do think that now there's a good amount of Dragoons to fight against these Marines, and the Marines are pretty much only 6 of them, or 7 of them left, and the medics are once again running out of energy. And Hamburgersasu decides to retreat back to more Marines that just arrived on the scene. But this time around, he's retreating back to his base because he notices and realizes that he might have bit off more than he could chew, but he did manage to buy himself so much time by keeping Bombi so occupied with fighting against those Marines. But Bombi, surprisingly, has managed to keep his macro absolutely airtight and perfect during that entire exchange. Even though his APM is lower, his macro was on point. He's still on low minerals, he's spending everything he gets, and he's fighting at the same time. That is some prime multitasking. Now Hamburgersasu has a lot of Marines here. But 5 barrack build order is really paying off. It's a 6 barrack build order. It's 6 barracks as he's going all out on the Marines, medics against Dragoons. But Dragoons are actually doing quite well with the stutter stepping. He's trying to avoid as much damage as he can. He's doing so successfully, although now he gets himself in a pretty bad spot there. All the Dragoons going down. But once again, the medics are out of energy. And once the medics are out of energy, the Marines fall like flies under a magnifying glass. That makes no sense. That just absolutely makes no sense. But they're getting swatted down like flies. Although it's pretty hard and difficult to hit flies. But once you hit them, once you get to them, they just, bam, gone. Like these Marines. Once the medics... I was making an analogy here, but it just makes no sense. I had it in my mind, like, I'm not even gonna say it. So he's trying to buy himself time for the bunkers, but now it looks like the Dragoons are absolutely destroying the Marines, though the last couple of Marines are valiantly pushing those Dragoons back into the middle. And it looks like Hamburgersasu is now completely safe, as the tank there is on the way in siege mode as well. He's got a starport as well, probably going for a tank drop. Because while all the action there is going on, Bombi has almost no protection around his nexus, almost no protection for his probes, and there we see the scan. Hamburgersasu is thinking about going for the tank drop. That scan just there, that solidifies, and it just gives it away completely. And it looks like Bombi saw the scan happening as he was looking at his nexus, and starts throwing down a lot of cannons, pulls the Dragoons back to his home to protect those probes. He knows the tank drop is coming, the surprise is gone. That's always the one big risk you're facing when you throw down that scan onto the nexus to look for cannons, if it's possible to get a tank drop going. And that is that you give away the fact that you're going for a tank drop. But it's kind of one of those things that you have to scan, because you can't just fly a tank with a dropship with tanks in there into cannons and have it die for no reason whatsoever. So the Dragoons there back at home to protect. Bombi went for 2 extra nexuses to build up his economy, because at a very early aggression start that didn't pay off kind of necessitates him to play defensive and go for triple nexus. So this is what he's going to do. He's going to distract there at the front before the cannons come up and go for a tank at the same time, but the tanks are sieging up. He's going to get shot up on the probes. No, he doesn't get the shot up on the probes. All the probes are staying alive. The frontal choke here, while Bombi was focusing on defending against the tank drop, has been taken down. Well, there's a lot of Dragoons here, a lot of Zealots as well. But those Marines are going to have to retreat back home. They're going to have to retreat as fast as he can. But he's going to go in. Hamburgersasu is absolutely a madman. He wants to go in, he wants to fight, he wants to take the fight to Bombi instead of waiting in his base, waiting for Bombi to attack. He said, oh, he's going for another tank drop, and while the Dragoons are in the front defending, this tank might just hit a single shot off on those probes. Gets a shot off, kills 16 probes. That was absolute. Oh, he gets another. Ooh, gets 24 in total. He gets another 25 in total. That last shot could have killed about 7 or 8, but he got only 1. But 25, that was so amazing. That was legitimately, amazingly well played. This is prime Hamburgersasu. This is Hamburgersasu at his very, very best. I must admit though that Bombi did give Hamburgersasu a little bit too much breathing room with his build order, but Hamburgersasu is just taking every single advantage that he can. This is absolutely amazing gameplay. I am honestly very, very impressed. Now we're looking at 54 SCVs for Hamburgersasu against 43 probes from Bombi. Hamburgersasu now finally settling down, going for the defensive playstyle. He's going to keep throwing out some tank drops, and he's sending it out over the left side of the map, and he might just fly into this shuttle by pure chance. And by pure chance, they both fly into each other. By pure chance. So both players know what's up, both players know the drops are coming in. Dragoons are moving into position, Marines are also slightly changing where they are to intercept. Got the scans coming down onto Bombi's base to see if there's a chance to land a tank drop. I don't really think there's much room to get that tank dropped and get a shot off at the same time. The shuttle there also looking for a way, and both players are going in at the same time. Oh, Hamburgersasu strikes first. The tanks are sieging up. This tank might get a shot off on the probe. Gets a shot off. Gets 13. He actually did it. He managed to do it. The shuttle there also goes in. Flies into Marines. The Marines take down the Reaver. Oh, he does get about 10 or so Marines. But the Marines did their purpose. They served their purpose. Took down the Reaver. Stopped the drop. Kept the SCVs alive. And Hamburgersasu's lead is growing by the minute. He's adding on a lot of starports here. He's up to something funny, that's for sure. Once again, loads up 2 more tank drops. He's getting no... Oh, there are the armories on the left side of the base. Most players built them around the depots. He just built them in a nice little block on the other side of his base. Doesn't have hill vision yet, but he's got turrets there on the sides to protect him from the shuttle drops. Bombi once again got slowed down tremendously. He's playing well, but Hamburgersasu is in absolute top shape. This is Hamburgersasu at his best. We're only 12 minutes in and he's already done so much damage to his opponent. The pressure is non-stop and he's just multitasking this so well. He's got now level 1 weapon, level 1 attack and armor on the way for his tanks. He might lift up all those barracks as well and fade over into complete mech domination. Couple more drop troops are on the way to just abuse this position here, because his tanks up on the hill are very strong. And he might just land a couple more here, right next to it, and slowly push his way towards those probes. That's the safest way to play this, and he's got the means to do so. About 8 factories now, 1 more engineering base on the side for vision up on the hill. Holding engineering base on every single side of space for vision. Gets a 5th and a 4th command center. Shuttle drop there on the bottom corner, ready to fly in. There's a couple of Marines there to intercept. The engineering base spots it. Is Hamburgersasu going to take it down? He sees it immediately. Going to take that down with it without much trouble whatsoever. All his Marines though do get stormed to death, but he doesn't really care about that. He's got 6 barracks. He's got a lot of factories and starports as well. He just wants to push towards those probes. That's all he cares about. So 91 SCVs now. A couple of them shuttles going to try to fly in and get a drop going onto Hamburgersasu. Once again, he has to keep up the pressure because this is currently the only way he can damage Hamburgersasu. And that's with storms and Zelda drops. Going to try to unload there on top of the tanks, but it's difficult to unload on top of the tanks onto these spots. It's difficult. Managed to get a Templar in there as well. Going to storm on those tanks. He manages to do some damage, but unloading here on the top side is very difficult. I've tried to do it myself, but there's so little space and room here that just doing it is difficult. It's difficult. He keeps picking up those units quite expertly, unloads them. Still tries to prepare drops, still tries to add on gateways. Hamburgersasu lifted up all of his barracks to get more vision on his sides, a bigger buffer zone, more map control. There's no depots in the front because he's not expecting a frontal attack anytime soon. He knows he's got Bombi cornered and he knows that he doesn't need a wall in the front. He's just going to keep on going hard and keep on unloading units here inside of Bombi's base and get complete control over the hills. But Bombi has Dragoons, has Templars, has vision up on the hill with that shuttle, which allows the Dragoons to attack up onto the hill. Can unload on the hill as well and clear that out to the best of his ability, but it's not enough. There's just too much tanks being put up on the hill there. Hamburgersasu is just putting up too much pressure at the moment for Bombi to keep up with. Got a drop there coming in once again from the top left side, but there's barracks everywhere. So that's going to be difficult to fly in. He's going to get spotted out for sure, and so he does, which means that Hamburgersasu can once again prepare himself for the drop. Adding on more factories, slowly getting more control here on the bottom side. Bombi is putting everything on the top side of his base, knowing there's no point in building anything on the bottom side here because he's just going to get taken down by the tanks. Drop there comes in from the left side, flies in over pretty much nothing at all, although the Marines are now moving into position, but the Templars are unloading. Templars gonna storm on the SCVs. He hits the storm, hits the money shot, kills about 50, no, not 50, kills 46 SCVs in total there. Luckily for Hamburgersasu, he's got 6,000 minerals and 5 command centers, so he's gonna have a lot of SCVs back up and running in no time whatsoever. That's basically, it does hurt him, but I don't think it will slow him down all that much. He's gonna keep up the pressure here with the tank push. He's having some gas troubles, because there's a theory that you mine a little bit less gas on this 6 o'clock spawn. Basically, the gas income is the lowest on the 6 o'clock spawn for some reason. It's as if the distance traveled here is bigger than if you go from side to side. Sounds weird, but it's something that everyone notices, and you can see it, definitely see it here with how much gas he's got. Even though he's got 30 SCVs there on the gas in total. Although these two are almost empty, so maybe not 30, but it's close to 26. So yeah, the hill pressure is not really working out. Bombi's doing a great job clearing it out continuously. Hamburgersasu tried to push with this abusive method, but it's not working. It's definitely not working. Bombi, knowing he needs more structures, starts building here on the top side of the map. His Stargate proxy base. He's gonna need Stargates and carriers for sure, because it's going to be difficult to keep up with these tanks up on the hills with gateway units. And once again, the more tanks being put up on the hill, and Bombi decides to move out for the attack, but there's so many bunkers, so many... Oh, he's going to unload there on top of those units there behind the bunker wall. There's a Templar there, but it doesn't have storm energy. It's going to try to break through, but this is just going to be too easy to defend. Hamburgersasu defenses without even trying. Didn't have to micro, didn't have to dodge anything whatsoever, just had to put some units there into the front and attack move. Gonna pick up one more batch of his tanks, send them over into Bombi space. Now he has complete control here over the hills. Goliath's there to keep those shuttles away, so the units cannot be unloaded on top of the tanks. Ooh, he can hit the bottom nexus there as well, or at least the cannons. Now he's gonna push forward with the next group of tanks that's going to unload here on the bottom side. Bombi's struggling for sure. He's not sure what to do, it appears. And I must admit, it's difficult to do anything in this situation. The Terran has a lead over you. You fell behind. And once you fall behind against the Terran as a Protoss, it is difficult to do anything whatsoever. So Hamburgersasu is going to keep pushing forward bit by bit until he hits those probes there on the Nexus. The drop comes in there from Bombi. It's going to fly straight over a couple of turrets and Marines. The Marines might be able to snipe these out of the air. It's going to try to snipe them down, but Templars are unloading. Templars are too far away to storm. Oh, he storms with the last one, but he only hits about 5 or 6 of those SCVs. Hits a couple of Marines there as well, but doesn't get the money shot that he needed. But anything that slows Hamburgersasu down just a tiny bit is welcome for sure. But is it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough to slow him down for long enough? Because those tanks are now on soon on 2 true upgrades, and those zealots, those gateway units, are on 112. Both players are lagging behind a little bit with their upgrades, but what matters most is the fact that they're constantly fighting, constantly challenging their opponents, constantly looking to damage, constantly looking to take the other out. And the encroachment here is slow, but it's happening for sure. Though I do think if Hamburgersasu just went for the frontal push into Bombi space, he could have already won. But he wants to play it with the hill abuse. He just wants to finish it in this manner. Even though it's slower than just pushing through the front door. He gets right in between, gets right in range, gonna shoot all the probes. All the probes are dead and gone. That's pretty much every single probe completely demolished. But a Templar there is gonna save the day against these tanks, but the damage has been done. The probes are all dead and gone. He has to rebuild all those probes. He doesn't have a lot of money. It is about 6,000, but it's not a lot of money when you're facing this situation, because you're constantly forced to produce new units and having to make probes as well while having no income at the moment. That is going to be painful, perhaps even impossible. There's another wave of dropships there flying across the map. He sees and scans the entire map there to see if there's something, a proxy base, anything that Bombi has on the other side of the map that is giving him income, but there's nothing there. All once again mass tanks there unloading, gonna try to push a little bit further for the last couple of probes, gonna try to push for the Nexus, but there's so many zealots. Though these zealots are the very last zealots Bombi has. Managed to do some micro there with the tanks, but a dropship there. Shuttle there coming in on the bottom side. Gonna try to land one more storm drop on those. Oh, he lands the storm drop on the SCVs. How many kills did he get? He got 32. So that's a welcome hit there on the SCVs there, but it's too late. There's tanks here firing away on the mineral line. Got carriers here on the other side of the map. They will get interceptors, but it's only 5 carriers. There's a 6th one on the way. But you have to finance those interceptors, and he's currently got no money coming into the bank whatsoever. And Hamburgersasu is very slowly rebuilding his SCVs. He's very low on money, very low on mining SCVs as well, but his army is massive. His power is unmatched. The carriers will clean out those tanks though with ease. With ease. I think Hamburgersasu doesn't really care anymore. He knows the game is over. All he has to do is just fly in once again because he took down 2 of the 3 Nexus. And he's got a lot of units here inside those trucks. He's going to pick them all up. Actually, there's nothing in there. Just picking up and evacuating. No, he's not evacuating. He's sending them deeper into the base. Going to try to kill the last couple of probes there. The Lowe's right next to the probes. Going to siege them up as well. But the probes are running into the tank, so not going to get a lot of probes there. But this is some damage that Hamburgersasu wanted to inflict. Though it's not really the amount of damage he wanted, it is something. But both players are now broke. But Bombi is the brokest. And there's a lot of Goliaths there to fight against those carriers, so the carrier's not going to do all that much, although there's a mass drop there as well. There's Dark Templars and Zealots. No regular Templars. I don't see regular Templars in any of those shuttles. It's just Dark Templars, Zealots, and carriers going to try to hit a counter hit here. Going to try to save the game. But Hamburgersasu finally decides to just move out, ignore the dropships, and go for a frontal attack and end the game once and for all as the carriers do try to go in. But there's so many Goliaths. He goes for the command center. The SCVs have run away to safety. Command center might go down there. Command center goes down, so it's a Nexus and a command center down for both players, but the carriers do take so much damage, and Bombi is officially completely out of money. And he's got a mass army of Marines and tanks inside his house, breaking the place down. And that's a GG from Bombi. That's a win for Hamburgersasu, who wins the game in 22 minutes and 46 seconds. That means we get another win there for Hamburgersasu after game number 6. So now both players are evenly matched for the final match, game number 7. Which will be coming out tomorrow, because I only have time to do a single match today, and that's this one. So be looking out for match number 4, sometime tomorrow. Not sure when. Also notice I just completely forgot to turn on the game music for the entire video, but I hope you don't mind. I hope just the fighting sounds was enough. Yeah, that's for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for part number 4, the final installment of this best of 7, sometime tomorrow. Hopefully around the same time as this video. Well, thanks for watching.